be going too goddamn far. Really, I be going so goddamn hard. Cause I don't give a fuck. I ain't worried about what you think. I'm not on your ship. I won't be with you when you think. About yourself, who is Nick Lyles? What are some of the things you've accomplished or embarked upon in your life?
I am an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I run an entertainment company called Lyles Entertainment.
Yeah.
It's a multifaceted entertainment company. We do everything from event planning to artist management, brand development, website design, et cetera, photography, you name it, we do it. I've been doing that now for about 5 years.
Nice.
So we're steady growing, steady trying to grow the brand.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's really what's up. That's most definitely what's up. Black entrepreneurs. We need more of them.
Yes, we do.
So Nick and I met over 10 years ago. When I was 18, we met in college.
True.
It's always a good thing to have friends from different places.
Definitely.
So,
shout out to Lane College, by the way.
Absolutely. Shout out to Lane College, HBCU. You know what I mean? So, Nick, why don't you tell me what's been your biggest success so far? So I know that you mentioned that you have a multimedia company now, but I know you from being an artist, like you said, artist management, photography, open mics. What do you feel like has been your biggest success?
I definitely feel like my biggest success as far as my career, number one would definitely be my show, the run that we had in Orlando, Florida. It was an open mic showcase called Unplugged Sessions.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy Eddie Sanchez, my business partner out there. We put a lot of groundwork in to make that show run for almost 2 years. We work with over 200 artists. Had people come from all over the country to perform. So that was definitely one of my proudest moments was that show.
Okay.
And then also kind of stepping into that full-time entrepreneur role.
Yeah.
A lot of times, black entrepreneurs have to kind of choose between a real 9-to-5 or regular 9-to-5 and, their side hustle and things like that. So making that transition was a big accomplishment for me.
Absolutely. How long have you been a full-time entrepreneur, if you don't mind me asking?
Consistently, I'd say about 2 years now.
Okay.
Now I'm no stranger, when I need to pick up some extra dollars,
Yeah.
I will go get that check if needed, to accomplish my goals. But consistently about 2 years now.
That's what's up, man. I'm happy for you. All right, so it sounds like you've dibbled and dabbled in a few different aspects of the entertainment / multimedia industry.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, what's been your biggest failure, if you don't mind sharing it with myself and my audience?
My biggest failure? Honestly, it's kind of a two-part answer.
Okay.
I think my biggest failure, both to myself and to some of the people that I've worked with, was working on an honor system as opposed to getting that paperwork right. I put in a lot of free man hours, a lot of free time, with the hopes of, figuring it out later on down the line. And then it just, that kind of blurs the lines a lot.
Yeah.
When it's time, to really start talking brass tacks. And then if you do have a personal relationship with that person, it just creates even more confusion. So, not learning earlier on how important that paperwork really was.
Yeah.
Even in situations where you're working with people that you were close to. And then because of that, I think some of the artists that I've worked with that had a lot of potential to really excel and go forward. I think that maybe those experiences based on those situations may have stunted
Yeah.
their potential growth or their left a bad taste in their mouth or and likewise as far as how to move in this industry. So yeah, that's probably my
Yeah,
biggest
not knowing
failure.
about the professionalism or
Yeah,
the more so the safety, the protection of paperwork,
yeah,
where
like
everything is addressed in black and
definitely,
white.
definitely. As opposed to, we
Oh well, you
we
said
shaking
this, right?
hands, and I've known you for 5, 10 years, so I just trust,
But people forget.
that you're gonna have my best interest out, and or I trust that that I have your best interest in it, and vice versa, and et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera. So, yeah, definitely make sure y'all get that paperwork together. If you're working with anybody, friend or not, just make sure you got that paperwork together. I mean, case in point with what's going on right now.
yeah.
With look
We're
at
gonna talk about that.
yeah.
But just to piggyback off that failure question, what's been your biggest challenge so far in your journey of entrepreneurship?
My biggest challenge, I think for me, my biggest challenge was learning the value of my work.
Okay.
I think that this is an industry where, especially for those of us who are behind the scenes or not in front of the camera, in the spotlight, I think a lot of times there's a lot of confusion or misconceptions
Yeah.
as to you know how much your time and your work ethic is worth and things like that. And a lot of times, especially from my position now with the progression of the internet and social media and things like that, like the managerial role is one that gets questioned all the time as to whether or not it's necessary. And to me, I feel like it just kind of depends on what your goals are, as far as you as a brand or you as an artist. But I think it also is very clear cut and simple. Are they getting results for you?
Yes.
If they're getting results for you based off the work that they're doing, then they should be compensated. You know what I mean? And they should be compensated accordingly. Um, a lot of people in this industry want to cut corners. They want to, they
I
want to hit
mean,
us.
but as a person, artist or whatever in the creative space that's up and coming, what you think your worth is and what your worth actually is could be very different. It just could be.
It could be, but I think that once you've established a certain amount of tangible evidence
Yes. I agree.
and results, I think then that's when you can kind of
You can say what your worth
you can say
is.
what your worth is and things like that. And it's one of those games where you can set your bar and you can either stick with it and hope and pray you find clients that are willing to meet that goal or
Yeah.
meet that bar, or you can play the game and modify and chase that bag however you want to, penny pinch or do deals and cut deals and make your money however you see to it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But knowing your
But
worth is definitely
it's a
important.
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. So let me ask you a question. If you had a $500,000 budget for Lyles Entertainment right now, somebody call your phone and say, "Hey man, I seen what you've been doing. I've been watching you for a couple years now. I'm an investor. I got 500 racks for you, but I need to just know what you're gonna do with it."
What would I do with it? What I do with 500 racks right now? Half a mil. Um, I think that I would focus the majority on that money into some type of brand development structure. Not necessarily like a building, but I mean like an infrastructure based around brand development. I think
Yes.
that we are in an age right now where everyone has the opportunity to become a brand. Everyone has a viable platform that they can use to become a brand. The only problem is that learning how to maneuver yourself as a brand is a challenge, and it's something that a lot of people don't learn early on, even when they have the potential to do so, or they find themselves becoming a brand. And I think that that in itself encompasses a lot of things. So whether it be building a studio, a multimedia studio, where you can come and build content and you can learn how to, work the necessary components that you need to build your content. You can, there's a legal team on deck where you can learn, the legal aspects of contracts and negotiations and what you need to ask for. You can learn the accounting. So you know how to crunch your numbers and make
Yeah.
sure that all your T's are crossed and all your I's are dotted. I think that's very important, and I think that even outside of just an entertainment standpoint, everyone that's something that everyone can utilize.
Okay. And you think that you could create that facility with $500,000?
Yes.
Okay. Bet. Fair. Um, all right, so I'm gonna ask kind of a cliche question here before I wrap things up. So who inspires you, famous or not? Who makes Nick go harder? Who do you look at and say, I want to do that, or I want to reach success in a way similar to that person?
Interesting. Um, for a long time, I probably would have said somebody cliche like Kanye West, which I still do look up to Kanye West a lot for. Just his determination and his drive, and, when, his innovative thinking.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing nowadays there are a lot of people that I kind of relate a lot more to just in kind of my journey. And I feel like watching them, there are certain aspects of their success that I do want to emulate. Like Charlamagne the God has become
Okay.
a very big influence for me. Um, Believe it or not, Joe Budden
Yeah.
has become a very big influence for me. Um, and Joe a lot more than Charlamagne, just because I feel like Joe has played different roles in different aspects.
Yes. He's
Um, you
more
know,
articulate, it seems.
yeah, and
More
Charlamagne,
knowledgeable.
yeah, and he has somewhat checkered reputation, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And there are times in my past, depending on what capacity you know me, where you may feel a certain way about how I may used to act, and things
Yeah.
like that, and the way that I approached, certain situations. And so, I kind of compare my growth to that sometimes.
To see that somebody can get past that.
Yeah, you can get past that and still
Yes.
kind of like, low key progress even more than you thought you had earlier on.
Right. Absolutely. And reach
and
success in your
and
industry.
reach success in my industry. And
Okay.
then, just even from a grassroots standpoint, my mother and my grandmother, because they were two people who kind of always told me, you know, to go really like try. Just don't be afraid to just jump out there and just go for it. If you fall, come home, regroup, try again,
Yeah.
and go back out there. And I think that a lot of my life and my life's choices have been based off of that philosophy. Like, yo, what's the worst that can happen if we just go out there and try it, and you know what I'm saying, just put your nose to the ground and just grind and just see what happens. You know, the worst that can happen is you know, you fail a little bit, you know, stuff happens and you got to start over.
You're right.
You know, but you can make it happen.
Okay.
So.
I definitely respect that answer. All right, so finally, we're going to go ahead and wrap this segment up, Nick.
Okay.
I appreciate you for letting me interview you.
Definitely.
I'm going to keep you around for the rest of the show.
Okay.
We're going to talk about some ratchet shit, some crazy shit.
All right, let's get to it.
But before we do that, I just want you to tell me what you're promoting right now. What can people purchase from you right now to support Nick Lyles, a black man creating black business?
Okay, so right now, my business is kind of focused on two different aspects. On the Lyles Entertainment side, I have the Lyles Mobile Movie Company, which is basically a movie theater that can be brought right to your crib. I have a 20-foot inflatable screen, popcorn machine, candy, and a library of almost 800 movies. And you can basically rent out our services, and we'll come right to your crib or your business event, or you know, in the middle of the field, whatever. And you can have your own movie night, your own private movie night. We also do pay-per-view fights. You know, if you just want to have somebody playing music videos and stuff at your party, you know, we'll come bring the screen out and things for that. So you can find out more information at Lyles ENT on all social media platforms if you are curious about that. And then I also have my clothing line, Elevated Focus Clothing. As you can see, Shantae's got it.
Yeah, I'm rocking the Elevated Focus as well.
This is the original. This is the first sweatshirt line. Yeah.
Focus, you know what I'm saying?
And this summer we got short sets coming out for guys, and then the biker shorts coming out for the ladies with some crop tops. So be on the lookout for that. That's Elevated Focus Clothing on Instagram. So.
All right, awesome. So if you in the Houston area and you're trying to get a mobile movie night going, if you want to get together with your friends and family, but you're not quite ready to go back to the theater, or you just want to get in your backyard so you can fob your blunts and your drinks and whatever the case is, hit up Nick Lyles, Lyles Mobile Movies. And if you want to get swagged out for the summer, you already know to hit him up for the Elevated Focus clothing line.
Yes,
so
indeed.
That's what's up. With all that being said, once again, thank you. I'm very proud of all your accomplishments. It's an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate it.
Now I'm ready to talk about some crazy shit.